According to a report in the Washington Post, a trial for self-proclaimed mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed is unlikely, at least for the foreseeable future. The report coming nearly a week after U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder said that a decision on this, where to hold the trial, was imminent.
This is an ongoing one. We are working to make a determination about the placement of that trial, and I would hope that whatever the decision is, it will be one that will be judged on the merits, and that what is best for the case and for justice in that case will be the thing that will guide the decision. We have been working on it, and I think we're close to a decision.
Not a whole lot revealed in that statement. Christian Whiton has served as the State Department senior advisor from 2003 to 2009. He's also a principal at the D.C. International Advisory, and we welcome him here. Christian, good to have you here this morning. What did you make
Great to be here.
Thank you. What did you make of Eric Holder's statement and of this report in the Washington Post?
Well, I think it looks like the Obama administration is being forced to back off yet another terrible decision regarding national security. You know, previously there was a very political decision to close Guantanamo, the detention facility there, that was made at the request or to please domestic constituencies within the Democratic Party, liberals if you will. And now, luckily that failed, and this is another instance of a decision that was motivated not by national security but by politics, in this case to try one of the masterminds behind the 9/11 attacks for some reason, in civilian criminal court in New York City. So I think it's backing away from that. Unfortunately, there's no other policy in place as to what to do with this very dangerous person.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't heard anything other than that no decision has been reached as of right now. But the report in the Washington Post suggested that their reporting told them that, you know, this could be pushed off till 2012, and of course 2012 rings a lot of bells in everybody's ears as an election year, and that it might not be handled till after that. What's the message that is sent to Al-Qaeda and to terrorists around the world by that, if that were to be the case?
Well, the message is one of profound weakness, and it's an indication that we have a litigator-in-chief, not a commander-in-chief. We need to litigate less and fight more in this war. You know, a quick historical analogy. When illegal combatants in World War II, in this case German spies, were caught in the U.S., they were caught in June of 1942. They were put before a military tribunal the very next month, July. The Supreme Court blessed that decision that very same month, and the first 6 were executed in August, so 2 months from capture to kill. Yet here we are 7 years after Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was caught, 9 years after 9/11. And there's no end in sight in this. The answer is military tribunals and a more expeditious way of disposing of these very dangerous people who have made war unlawfully on the United States, but we're not seeing anything like that.
Do you think a military tribunal for Khalid Sheikh Mohammed would be satisfying in terms of the justice that would be brought by it? Because, you know, one of the concerns obviously with having a trial here in New York is that some of the intelligence that was gleaned through waterboarding would not be admissible in that courtroom.
That's right. The Obama administration seems to feel instinctively that justice can only be achieved through criminal courts that we subject U.S. Citizens who are accused of crimes to, when in fact these are just an entirely different breed of people. Enemy combatant is just completely different than domestic U.S. citizen criminal. And you're right, the rules of evidence in U.S. courts is just too high. You'd have to compromise sources and methods of collecting intelligence. You have information collected from the battlefield. And yet we know with near certainty that this is one of the people who masterminded 9/11. He admitted as much. What you need is a military commission just to review the circumstances of his designation as an enemy combatant, in this case an illegal one, and then you need to move on.
Why is there legal ambiguity as to whether or not, you know, he should be treated as an enemy combatant and therefore tried in a military tribunal? I mean, is there any question about that?
Well, I think the question that the Obama administration seems to have is just over this whole notion that you can act against people outside of the courtroom setting. And it goes back to having a president with very little national security experience who's from the Senate, if you will, a litigator-in-chief and not a commander-in-chief. So there's this fundamental misunderstanding of the threats we face, and also there's a fundamental failure to realize that we're at war. We're not prosecuting liquor store bandits. We're going after people who have made war on the U.S. and not only want to kill us, but in the case of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, has succeeded in killing over 3,000 Americans.
The definition of that war seems to vary in some cases in terms of the take on it. Christian Whiton, thank you very much. I think if there isn't some kind of resolution in this issue, there's going to be a lot of outrage in this country, and we'll follow it. Thank you very much, Christian.
Thank you.